I am
As
interested
a
in this.
Kendrick fan, this beef.
Damn, chill out. I am interested in this Millie Bobby Brown one because I don't know too much about the whole situation with them, but all I know is about what everybody else has seen with like her recent, or I want to say recent interview, but the interview when nothing happens, and then her whole background explanation of like them hanging out and shit like that. But who is this by? I didn't even read it. My bad. This is by Anna Oop, and this is Drake's Disturbing Past with Millie Bobby Brown just got exposed. Police investigating. So this might actually be investigating. Investigated. My bad. No,
As a longtime Kendrick fan, this beef has turned me into a Kendrick hater.
Drake just dropped a new diss track, and I'm not gonna lie,
Better clutch up.
You're getting cooked right now. You know what I'm saying? You're getting fried. As an unbiased reporter, I can't even lie.
This Drake and Kendrick beef has to be one of the most insane things that has happened in a long time. I mean, these people hate each other at this point. Loves, J.Cole started this beef, and halfway through he was like, I'm out because of how messy things are getting. Kendrick is getting called out
It wasn't even
for
halfway
and
through.
Drake got called out for alleged inappropriate behavior with young people. But when he came to defend himself, he dropped Millie Bobby Brown's name to say that he's too famous to be inappropriate with young ones, and this totally backfired because people started looking into his history with Millie, and it's not looking good for Drake. Now, the police stormed Drake's house, and they are conducting an investigation.
They did?
It does. Who would you say is winning this beef?
Nope. Pass. No, thank you. I don't want to get dragged into this at all. All these dudes do is research and destroy. Apparently, this is short for dissertation, okay? And I don't need anybody looking me up and rapping about how I took my cousin to senior prom or that I pissed my bed until senior prom, okay? I just want to do my job and rest my head in whatever safe house they got J.Cole in. Okay.
So, unless you've been living under a rock, you definitely have heard of Drake and Kendrick's beef. I mean, this beef will go down in history as one of the greatest beefs of all time. However, not all people seem to understand what this beef is all about. Well, I am here to break it down for you as much as I can. Now,
really is one of the biggest ones of all time,
Drake
bro.
and Kendrick used to be really close. They even collaborated on a couple of songs. Drake even featured Kendrick in Buried Alive interlude from his studio album Take Care. Y'all, after this, Drake started working more and more with Kendrick. He even had Kendrick and A$AP Rocky open for him during his Club Paradise tour in 2012. Later that year, both Kendrick and Drake appeared in A$AP's song Effing Problems. They seemed great together. It seemed like all they were doing when they collaborated was making hits, and that fact was cemented when Kendrick featured Drake on his song Poetic Justice. However, that would be the last time Drake and Kendrick ever worked together. Fast forward to 2013, Kendrick seemingly took shots at Drake and other rappers in Big Sean's song Control, claiming he has nothing but love for them, but he was trying to shake up the rap scene. When Drake was asked about what he thought about Kendrick's shots, he said that it was all good and Kendrick was just taking some ambitious shots and nothing more. Drake even said he met up with Kendrick
some ambitious
and after
shots.
that, they were cool. Drake said, I saw him 5 days later at the VMAs and it was all love. Y'all, Drake even went as far to say that Kendrick should have taken more shots to really spice things up. He didn't come out there on some wild, I'm New York, F everybody. I almost wish he had come in there on that ish because I kind of lost a little bit of respect for the sentiment of the verse. If it's really F everybody, then it needs to be F everybody. It can't just be halfway. Loves, according to Drake, this was all friendly competition and he loved it. But
that's what he thought this one was.
Later that year, Drake released his third studio album, Nothing Was the Same, and in there he had a song called The Language. And in the verse of that song, he seemed to respond not so nicely to Kendrick. But Drake has always denied that he was taking shots at Kendrick. Kendrick himself admitted that their relationship went downhill after his verse on Control. It seemed like despite what he had said, Drake wasn't a fan of Kendrick's friendly competition. Other than a few unclaimed shots here and there, Kendrick and Drake just went their separate ways and continued with their lives. Well, that was until J.Cole and Drake released First Person Shooter last year. That's when things got interesting. Now, in October 2023, J.Cole teamed up with Drake to release First Person Shooter, and it was a smash hit. Everybody seemed to love it. However, one innocent line from J.Cole's verse started one of the biggest feuds in this century. I don't even think J.Cole knew this would be the outcome. He was just rapping. J.Cole's now
he did not know, bro.
Love when they argue the hardest MC. Is it K. Dot? Is it Aubrey or me? We have big three like we started a league, but right now I feel like Muhammad Ali. So for the longest time, there had almost been a consensus among fans that Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole are three of the biggest hip-hop artists currently. And J. Cole was basically saying that even though fans were always arguing about who is the greatest of the three, just like Muhammad Ali, he was the greatest of the three.
J. Cole was really trying to keep the peace, bro. bro.
Fun considering what he was saying that.
The one thing I don't get is with first-person shooter, bro. Why, like, you want to say like your big three and shit like that, but why didn't you wait and put Kendrick on the track with y'all? Like, I don't understand. Y'all wanted peace and all three y'all to be together, but you didn't even like include the nigga on the track. Y'all made a whole music video and everything without this nigga, bro. Like, y'all could have like at least got the music video to be a remix featuring Kendrick Lamar, you feel me? But no, y'all said fuck him and left him out of all that shit and made the song, and then probably wanted to add him on the remix or something. And that's like basically saying like, oh, y'all two best friends and he the third wheel, so he has to like sit out. Basically, that's what you told that nigga. Now he on Drake's head, and well, I mean he was, now Drake's cooked, and that's pretty much what happened, bro. That's crazy.
Was better than Drake, and they were even on the song together. For months, everything seemed cool, and it was. Well, until Kendrick decided to reply in March of this year in Future and Metro Booming's song, Like That. And let's just say, Kendrick wasn't of the opinion that J.Cole or Drake was the greatest. Kendrick replied saying, F sneak dissin' first person shooter, I hope they came with 3 switches. Mother F, the big 3, it's just me. Now, even though Kendrick issued his response, this might be considered a very minor thing that didn't require it to be taken further. And at this point, I don't think Kendrick or Drake was going to take it further. But J. Cole just couldn't let it go, and he just had to go and make Kendrick mad. J. Cole released his
J. Cole did kind of start it, didn't he?
It was the song 7 Minute Drill, which was just meant to be a diss to Kendrick. The title 7 Minute Drill was a reference to J. Cole giving himself to write an exercise. J. Cole has in the past talked about this form of practice, and this was his way of putting an end to Kendrick. Right from the first verse, J. Cole set his sights at Kendrick. It's a cold world. Keep your heat under your seat. I got a phone call. They say that somebody dissing. You want some attention? It comes with extensions. The song in its entirety was okay. It wasn't too extreme or anything.
It was catchy though.
What shocked people about the entire thing is what happened next. Barely 48 hours after dropping his diss track, J. Cole quickly deleted it from all platforms. He even went on stage and apologized to Kendrick forever for making that diss track.
Of trying to like get this music out, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I moved in a way that I spiritually feel bad on.
Hey bro, we already heard that again. Yeah, we listen to EA.
Publicly be like, bro, that was the lamest, like goofiest shit, and I say all that.
Glad he found some batteries.
Like 10 years ago.
This, in return, made a lot of people start to make fun of J. Cole for starting a fight that he couldn't even finish.
J. Cole.
No, they all on the side now, bro.
Kendrick.
I still think he weak for it, bro. Like he could have spit some bars, bro. He should have battled.
Like that nigga J. Cole went on tour with Drake. He know what it is. It's like he can't run now. It's you also. All this like.
It's up for Cole too.
If you say Cole, you can't say up and Cole in the same sentence.
Even Drake wasn't a fan of J. Cole's apology and even called him out. Fast forward to a couple of days to April 13th, leaks started popping up of Drake's song Push Ups, which was supposed to be Drake's response to Kendrick. In the leaks, Drake was saying that there were more rappers who were better than Kendrick, like Travis Scott and 21 Savage. Drake also dissed a lot of people like
real
Future,
stretch for
Metro
real.
Boomin, The Weeknd, Rick Ross, but that's a story for another day. Because if we're
they're definitely probably better than them though. I'm about to lie.
With people, we'll be here for a long time. It's just easier to make a separate video. Loves, Drake was a savage on push-ups. From the beat to the lyrics, even the album art that was used to make fun of Kendrick's height or lack thereof. Now, the reason he used shoe size for the album art was to contrast the fact that Kendrick calls himself Big Stepper, but he's 5'5". Get it? Big Stepper, short guy. Anyways, on April 15th, Drake officially released Push-Ups. But on the same day, he also released what many have called the most forgetful song in this whole beat. Drake dropped Tailor Made Freestyle, another diss aimed at Kendrick. The song included AI voices of Tupac and Snoop Dogg because those are some of Kendrick's idols. Drake also played on the word tailor made because at that time Taylor Swift had just dropped her new album and it's all anyone could talk about. This was Drake's way of calling out Kendrick for not responding to push-ups because he was afraid of Taylor Swift's album and it would overshadow him. Drake was also making fun of Kendrick because in the past he had collaborated
it's a possibility, bro. She has a big fan base.
And lastly, the song was made specifically for Kendrick. I mean, that was a lot of clever wordplay from Drake, but the song wasn't up for very long because Tupac's estate had it taken down because Drake used Tupac's voice without their consent. But by the time the song was being
he was wild for that, bro.
Already caught the attention of Kendrick and he was ready to strike. Fast forward to April 30th, Kendrick
strictly out of pocket
response to Drake in a diss track named Euphoria. Loves, as soon as this song dropped, it started going viral. Now, the reason this song went so viral wasn't just because it was Kendrick's response to Drake, but it was also also Kendrick's first solo song since 2022 when he had just dropped Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Kendrick dropped Euphoria without any prior announcement, and in true Kendrick fashion, he had everything on point. Euphoria wasn't just a feeling, but also a play on the show Euphoria, where Drake is an executive producer. The song went so viral that Webster's Dictionary reported that it became the most searched word on their website. The song's album art had two definitions of the word euphoria, and the second one read, they had almost a week to recover from the euphoria of Tuesday's series-winning victory. Now, Euphoria was released on a Tuesday, and this was Kendrick's way of saying that after this song, he had practically won the beef. And it didn't stop there. Kendrick was taking shot
ain't no way he had all that lined up too, bruh. Like, that nigga has to be like, if he's really lining everything up like that, bro, like, is that not like fucking pure genius? Like, no one talks about how smart this nigga is, bro. It's like, I know there's like Kendrick dick writers and shit like that, and there's Drake dick writers, but bro, like, is this nigga Kendrick Lamar really that smart, bro? He set up all this shit, like all these things like that, like, oh, he'll put it on Tuesday, like, nigga, like, is he really doing that, or do you think it's just coincidence? Like, somebody let me know, bro. They ain't no fucking way. Like, the man is a genius.
Mr. Morale, a pathetic master manipulator, I can smell the tails on you now. You're not a rap artist, you a scam artist with the hopes of being accepted. So the reason Kendrick was saying Drake was a liar and a manipulator was because in Drake's song Push Ups, Drake claimed that Kendrick's fiance, Whitney, may have cheated on Kendrick with one of his bodyguards.
Drake, you did the same thing twice now.
Fucking academics.
You mentioned Virginia Williams or whatever, Pusha T's wife, and you saw that took the gloves off, and we saw what happened. You mentioned Whitney, and Kendrick Lamar's wife name is Whitney. You have to be prepared for anything. There is no, oh, nah, I can't believe you said that. No, because you're talking crazy already, too. This is a knock 'em out slugfest. This is no holds bar. This is, I don't care what that says. He could expose, you know.
Kendrick followed up on that line by telling Drake to stop spreading lies about him, or he would be forced to expose dark secrets about Drake. I make music that electrify him. You make music that pacify him. I can double down on that line, but spare you this time. That's random acts of kindness. Know you a master manipulator and habitual liar too. But don't tell no lie about me, and I won't tell truths about you. Loves, Kendrick lived up to his word and began exposing Drake for all sorts of stuff. From Drake getting punched by P. Diddy while they were at DJ Khaled's party. Kendrick also claimed that Drake had fake abs from plastic surgery. Kendrick also called out Drake for being inappropriate with girls who were not of age yet, from the likes of Millie Bobby Brown to Bella Harris, a model Drake was pictured with, getting very touchy back in 2018. Now, one thing Kendrick didn't do was mention any of these girls' names. Remember that, because it will be useful in a few.
Yeah, we seen this one earlier. Why you look like that? You definitely should.
And guys, Kendrick wasn't done there, because 3 days later, Kendrick released another diss track on his IG page called 616 in LA. Just the way Drake released his second diss, Taylor made Freestyle. And 616 was produced by Taylor Swift's very own producer, and Kendrick also released the song at 6:16 a.m. Now, a lot of music critics said that 616 was bait for Drake to respond to Kendrick so they could completely expose him, and it seems like Drake fell right into Kendrick's trap, or did he make Kendrick think that? Loves, a few hours after 616 in LA dropped, Drake released his response in a song titled Family Matters. Drake went all in on Kendrick. Drake was completely ruthless, and many have been debating online saying that if Drake was beefing with any other artist, Family Matters would have ended their career. That's how savage Drake was on that song.
Yeah, really?
However, Kendrick did one very unexpected...
What do you think, Chai? Family Matters, was that like... Do you consider that to be like an ender for anybody else? Like, it's not Kendrick, but any other rapper out there, like, Family Matters is worthy of, like, taking out their career. I'm trying to think of who off the top of my head just automatically. Let's see. Kodak Black, maybe. I just see him out of there. Exactly, like the first 20 seconds were incredibly hard. I don't know really who, or like, yeah, I don't know what rapper that it would be immediate like career death from Family Matters, but that was a hard song. If it was anybody else, it would have like did major damage. It would have been like, it would have had that MGK effect. Like, you would have been gone, but Drake is unfortunately having that MGK effect right now, so. We'll see if he changes genres, though, or changes languages.
Thing. Literally 30 minutes after Drake had dropped Family Matters, Kendrick dropped
Meet
a
the
follow-up
Drams.
diss, and this caught people off guard. Streamers were online waiting to react to Drake, and next thing they know, boom! Kendrick has dropped a response even before Drake started going through his comments.
Kendrick, what? Kendrick, drop your lying. You're lying, bro. You're cap. Bro, you're cap. Bro, you're cap, dude. No, you're cap. You're cap.
Loves, remember when I said Kendrick warned Drake that he was going to expose him? Well, he did exactly that. Meet the Grams is a play on Drake's real name, Aubrey
You
Graham.
like
The song
MGK?
starts off
His music
by
ain't
Kendrick
fucking bad.
talking to Drake's son, Adonis.
It's just he's a fucking
basically
goofball
calling
trying to go
Drake
after
out for
Eminem.
being a bad father. Dear Adonis, I'm sorry that man is your father. Let me be honest. It takes a man to be a man. Your dad is not responsive. I look at him and wish your grandpa would have wore a condom. I'm sorry that you gotta grow up and then stand behind him. Life is hard. I know. The challenge is always gonna beat us home. Sometimes our parents make mistakes that affect us until we grown, and you're a good kid that need good leadership. Let me be your mentor since your daddy didn't teach you love. Kendrick then proceeds to call out Drake for using Ozempic to lose weight and reveals that Drake had
Now,
a
punk rock is definitely his genre, that's for
people have
sure.
been saying he has, but Drake has never acknowledged
MGK always
it.
should have been
Kendrick
there.
then turns his attention to Drake's mom and tells her that Drake is a serious who low-key doesn't like women, especially the women who try and give him any competition. Kendrick then goes all out and calls Drake a who hangs out with other offenders in his crib. Sandra, sit down.
Damn, why is every
What I'm
word
about to say is
censored,
heavy.
bro?
Now listen, your son's a sick man with sick thoughts. I think like him should die. Him and Weinstein should get F up in a cell for the rest of their life. He hates black women, them with pink.
They be taking their whole like. Let me take the entire thing they said and put it out here.
He got offended on Ho VO that kept him on a monthly allowance. A child should never be compromised, and he keeping his child around them. And we gotta raise our daughters knowing there's like him lurking. F a rap battle.
You just don't cuss on YouTube
so
though.
All of these women can live with
but I think you might get pushed a little more maybe when
not
not cussing. I'm not sure.
Really heats up. Kendrick revealed that Drake has another child that he has refused to claim. Allegedly, he has a daughter who is 11 and he just straight up abandoned. However, Kendrick never gives any proof of the existence of said daughter. Drake was quick to respond on Instagram saying, nah, hold on, can someone find my hidden daughter please and send her to me? These guys are in shambles.
Oh my God! What? What? No! This can't be true. There's no way. There's no way. 11? If this is true,
This line proved to be
Oh, I thought he was gonna say something, bro.
Kendrick
He literally held
turned out
me in
Drake
suspense.
was using a fake mole to feed Kendrick false information. Now, on seeing this,
Mess
Kendrick
up some
had to
ice
act
water,
fast,
bro.
so he released yet
It'll be another
song,
cut.
which has oddly become a serious hit. Some critics even say that this song and Family Matters are the best thing about this feud. Y'all, less than 24 hours after Kendrick's big blunder, he released Not Like Us, and this song was next level. As soon as the song hit TikTok, it went crazy. People were dancing and vibing. Kendrick low-key made a lot of people forget about his huge mistake.
Bro, first of all, this beat,
That's hard, bro.
this flow, this beat is crazy.
Why he on this whole,
bro? I was about to say that. Is this a summer hit?
I'm finna pass
It
it
is.
like I'm John Stockton.
This is a summer hit.
Yo,
bro.
that nigga's like #1 in assists. Nah, like he John Stockton.
Now, it was not just the killer beats in this song that were on point.
He
Even
really
the
did
album
go
art
crazy
was
with
of
that
Drake's
one.
house with pins from the offenders list on top of the house. These pins are used to notify people about houses where offenders live, and in Drake's house, there were 13 pins to reveal how many offenders Drake allegedly lived with.
Man, Drake and Future were so cool back then.
They backed it up at the party.
Remember the line I told you not to forget about Kendrick
But
not
Ricky
mentioning
trolling,
any of
bro.
the girls' names? Well, Drake decided to respond to that in his song, The Heart Part 6. However, Drake made a huge blunder. Drake
don't let
denied
him
all the
beat your
claims
ass with that
he
riot
has
shield,
ever
bro.
been inappropriate with anyone not of age, but in doing so, he might have kinda exposed himself. I've never been with no one underage, but now I understand why this angle that you really mess with. Just for clarity, I feel disgusted. I'm too respected. If I was effing young girls, I promise I'd have been arrested. I'm way too famous for this you just suggested. Only effing with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Brown's. I'd never look twice at no teenager. Loves, remember Kendrick never mentioned any names, but while defending
Yeah, he
himself,
sure did.
Drake mentioned Millie Bobby Brown. And people were like, why did you mention her specifically? That's when people started digging around, and Drake doesn't come
All that was, he definitely knew, like, at least from prior history, he already knew, like, she was going to come up, probably along with the 17-year-old girl, so he was already ready to go. And that's probably all it was with the Millie line. Like, I feel like that's literally all it was. It's obviously overblown because they're like, oh no, Drake, blah, blah, blah. But no, it's overblown for sure. He definitely just already knew they were going to say it, so he just, like, went ahead and put it on the table. Kind of like Eminem style type shit. He's like, alright, I'm just going to say it. Boom, I'm talking about Millie, so let me just say we don't even do that. And he did, that's it. He just said it. But how true is it? Who
out
knows?
good at all in this story. From allegations, Drake sent suggestive texts to Millie, who was still 14 at the time, to all sorts of weird rumors.
All this rap beef is crazy, but you know what's crazier? That Drake hasn't, like, thank you, Kendrick, for calling him out for being a f***, even though you're a wife beater. Excuse my language, but I said the F word, that's what I meant, not the wife beater. But no one made a stink about, like, him with Millie Bobby Brown. Like, that was so weird about him texting her about, like, her boyfriends and giving her dating advice. And then not to mention, I don't have receipts,
That's
but I
crazy.
remember seeing on my, like, Instagram story one of my friend's little sisters.
Oh, he's a professional, bro.
From Drake when she was 13 years old. I wonder why.
Fucking Riot Raccoon.
Drake arguably came out looking worse when he tried to defend himself. Just look at the comments from
He
Drake's
did.
song. Drake is a genius. He's been talking to underage women for over 10 years to bait Kendrick. I was effing young girls, I promise I would have been arrested. That is a crazy statement. I actually am really manipulative. Is not the comeback Drake thinks it is. When Kendrick said this is not beef, it's a battle with yourself, this song proved him right.
Can we talk about the super mastermind genius that Drake is? In his latest track, he says that he fed Kendrick false info. Let's take a look. 9 years ago, Drake began sowing the seeds, his masterminded plot to trick Kendrick Lamar into revealing information. 9 years ago, he let this article come out claiming he had a 2-year-old daughter that would make her 11 now. So 9 years ago, Drake let this information leak to start the rumors.
Hey, I don't know if he glazing, bro.
Then 8 years ago, he took this picture with the girl who was 16, a model who was 16, and dated her when she turned 18 to again plant these seeds in people's minds. It was all a game. Then, in yet another
I'm spitting, bro.
rebellion move by Drake, he began texting this 14-year-old in hopes that someone would think it was inappropriate and make up rumors that he's having inappropriate relationships with 14-year-olds. That's called...
It only makes sense.
Y'all just don't have that type of knowledge and know-how to really get into your opponent's head.
Loves, Drake's response was so bad that the song
I'm
now
snapping.
has more dislikes than likes. Nearly
Damn.
1 million people have disliked the song, and that's just in one day. Now, to make things worse, as I'm recording this video, police are over at Drake's house, and they have shut it down, and they are conducting an investigation.
That's wild.
Okay, more breaking news this morning here on CB24 Breakfast. This from the Bridle Path area, where a police investigation is underway at Drake's home. Chopper 24 is above the scene this morning. It shows the street shut
he's
down
onto
just outside
something.
of 21 Park Lane Circle. That property belongs to the rapper. Crime scene tape can not only be seen outside, but also in the front courtyard driveway of Drake's home. It's not clear at this point what the nature of the investigation is. It's also unclear if this is connected to an overnight shooting that police have told us about in the area where shots rang out. This is in the Bayview and Lawrence Avenue.
Yeah, this one, his bodyguard
which is in the
got
sort of
shot,
general area of
unfortunately.
Drake's home. So this was just after 2 o'clock this morning. In this case, one person taken to hospital with serious injuries. Investigators say the suspects left the area in a vehicle. Once again, no official word from police if there is a connection. We are working on that. We have our Courtney Hills making her way now to this scene. Again, Drake's home, police investigating. We'll have much more throughout the morning here on CP24.
Who do you
Obviously, someone getting hurt is not a good thing. We don't want anybody hurt until, like you know, like, it's all allegation anyway from Kendrick right now. Nothing concrete. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there about Drake, but he's not convicted yet. There's nothing, I won't say there's a lot of stuff on him. It's just, like, there's the obvious things. But, a good job killing the right shoulder. But there's, enough information there to, like, start this investigation. So, I don't know if they're just over there for the shooting of the bodyguard, but it is interesting that they are investigating Drake's home. And, like, it's never a good sign that they're doing that. I mean, we saw what happened with Diddy. It is not a good sign. But that is Drake's disturbing past with Millie Bobby Brown. It wasn't really anything crazy. I thought there was going to be more info in there, but there really wasn't too much.